Sooner or later, you'll have to put your dust mask on and take a physical count of your inventory. Why? So you can be sure the numbers in QuickBooks are accurate. QuickBooks does a great job of tracking your purchases and sales, but QuickBooks isn't psychic. It doesn't know that your uncle helped himself to a case of wine or that pack of mice got into those cheese puffs. QuickBooks can help by providing a blank worksheet you can use during your inventory count. First, let's go over things you can do to prepare for a physical inventory count. If you have a large warehouse that might make counting inventory seem overwhelming, you can create a custom field for inventory items. For example, to specify the location or bin number where the item is stored. So let's go ahead and add a custom field. Open the items list and double-click any inventory part item. And click Custom Fields. And QuickBooks is telling you that you haven't yet created any custom fields for items. And we know this, but let's click OK. In this window, click Define Fields. And click in the label field and type the name of the custom field, like bin number or location, but let's use aisle. And then click in the Use column to indicate that you want to use this custom field. Click OK. And here in the custom field, type the aisle number for this particular item. Say it's 3, and click OK. And click OK to save the item. So back at the item list, double-click each inventory part item and click Custom Fields and enter the aisle number or whatever you are using, bin number, location, and click OK. So if you have a lot of inventory part items, this might get a little tedious. There's an easier way. Go to the Item menu and choose Add, Edit Multiple Items. And click Customize Columns to add the new custom field and maybe remove some of these columns that you don't really need at the moment. So we want to add aisle, and some of these we can remove. And double-click to move. And let's move aisle up so that's second in the list. Click OK. So here you can see it's much easier. You can just do one after the other. And when you're finished filling out that custom field, click Save Changes, and click OK, and then close. So later when I show you the physical inventory worksheet, I'll show you how those custom fields work. But before I do that, I want to mention a few things to keep in mind when counting inventory. During the physical count, you'll want to freeze your inventory so you won't affect the counts during that time. You should keep the following things in mind. So before counting, make sure you've recorded the receipt of all the items in QuickBooks and record any sales of items to ensure that the on-hand quantities are current and correct. And during the count, don't fill out a new item receipt or enter a bill for received items until after the inventory count is completed. If you receive any inventory items during the count, leave them in their boxes. Don't unpack and place them on the shelves. Also, hold off on shipping items to customers until after the count. And if you enter sales, receipts, or invoices during the count, you can mark them as pending. Let me just quickly show you where you do that. So create invoices and go to the Edit menu, mark invoice as pending. And then you would save the invoice, but I won't be doing that. When you've completed the inventory count, you open the invoice or sales receipt and then go to the Edit menu and choose Mark Invoice as Final, and then Save. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this and get ready for the physical inventory count. So just before you're ready to count, you can generate and print the physical inventory worksheet. And you can use this worksheet as you walk around your back room or warehouse to count the inventory you have. The worksheet lists your items and has a place where you can write down the actual count. So let's open the physical inventory worksheet. Go to the Vendors menu, Inventory Activities, and Physical Inventory Worksheet. And we can customize this to add that custom field that we added to the items and remove some of these fields that you might not need. So customize report. So on the display tab, you can see a list of the columns, and the ones with the check mark will appear on the worksheet. And let's remove quantity on hand. And the reason for that is it keeps the people counting your inventory from the temptation of pocketing any extras that they find. So if the quantity for button drippers said 90, but the count was 100, they might be tempted to stick those 10 extra button drippers in their pockets. So let's remove that column. And another column you might want to remove is preferred vendor, because that doesn't have any relevancy really. And then scroll down to the bottom and add the custom field you created. And next you can decide how you want to sort the worksheet. So in the sort by menu, you could choose item, and you could use this if you organize your stockroom alphabetically or numerically by item name. Or to sort by the custom field, choose that custom field name, and then in this case it will be sorted by the location and make it easier and more efficient to count. And by default, the worksheet shows only active inventory items. If you want to include both active and inactive, you'll have to change that setting. So click Filters and choose All, and then click OK. And you can see that there's a blank space to enter the count, and it's sorted by aisle number to make it easier and more efficient to find the items. And when you're ready to start counting, you can print the worksheet to give to your counters. Another video will explain how to make any adjustments resulting from your count.